Just good old simple white vinegar is one of the best time-tested cleaners out there. You see, vinegar is great for loosening dirt, getting rid of grease. It's also an antibacterial substance, and it can deodorize as well. So it's the kind of thing you really ought to have in your cupboard all the time and put it to work. In a spray bottle, what you want to do is combine equal parts water and vinegar. So here we go with the water, and the same for the vinegar. Now for the fun part, adding some essential oils. You see, they have their own antiseptic qualities. There's a range of them you could use, anything from citrus to lemongrass, as well as what we're using today, tea tree oil and lavender. In this case, I'm going to use 10 drops each of the tea tree oil and the lavender. So here we go. Very good. Now the lavender. Now it's just a matter of applying the top, screwing the lid on tightly, shaking it vigorously, and now I'm ready to apply it. It smells so good. Now you can use this as you would any cleaner, applying it to wood, glass, metal, etc. It works great. Now the next time you need an all-purpose, all-natural cleaner, you know how to make it yourself. All right, let's get to work. Woo! Does your garbage disposal smell a little funky? Well, how about an all-natural way to give your kitchen a little fresher aroma? Much better. Fresh as a daisy already. I don't know if you've paid much attention to some of the chemicals that you can find just by reading the labels on some of our ordinary household cleaners. How about a natural solution that's really easy? And actually, this recipe for your own dishwashing detergent will actually cost you less if you're buying just a standard brand off the shelf. Let me show you how easy it is. You're basically just taking 3 ingredients. You're taking good old sodium carbonate, washing soda, Epsom salts, and then borax. If you take these and combine them, you're going to come out with a great solution. I'm going to take 1 cup of the borax to 1/2 cup of the Epsom salts and 1 cup of washing soda. You just mix all this together. If we take the 3 different ingredients and talk about what they do, for instance, the washing soda, that's great for eliminating odor and also cutting into grease. Next, the Epsom salts. Since it's gritty, it's good for scouring. Finally, the borax is a great disinfectant. Now with it mixed together, I can just store it in some pint jars. It only takes a tablespoon of this each time you load your dishwasher. Now, if you want to make sure that you get a nice clean rinse on particularly your glassware, you can take 1/2 cup of vinegar and add it to that rinse component in your dishwasher. Hey, give these natural products a try. Around here, keeping the windows clean is a full-time job. And, well, it takes a lot of window cleaner. If you've priced window cleaner lately, you know it can be pretty expensive. Think about this. If you have a house with children or pets, they're always putting their hands, or in the case of dogs, their nose and so forth against windows. Well, they constantly need to be taken care of. This is a very simple and eco-friendly and very cost-efficient way to make your own homemade window cleaner. We're going to start with a half a teaspoon of dishwashing liquid. A funnel makes this much easier. There we go, got that. Then it takes 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. And the simplest ingredient of all, 2 cups of water. Look at that. Then all you have to do is put on the top, shake it up, and you're ready to clean some windows. This really, really works. Another little tip, you know, some folks use newspapers to clean their windows or paper towels, but coffee filters, they really work very well, so keep that in mind. You know, we've all had to deal with odors in our home. It can be a problem. And you can buy these commercial air fresheners and odor eliminators, but if you read some of the chemicals that go in them, well, they're hardly organic or natural. So if you're looking for something that's natural and safe that you can actually make at home, here is a really simple idea. It's basically using alcohol. You can use vodka if you like. You can also use isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol and water. And if you want it to have a certain aroma, you can add an essential oil. And basically what you're doing is you're just going to take a cup of water to 1 cup of alcohol and just put it in a spray bottle like this. If you want it to be scented and you'd like for it to have a citrus aroma, you could take the essential oil of lemon or lime or orange even, which is very nice, or lavender or rosemary. Just something to think about. With the essential oils, it only takes about 10 to 20 drops. It just depends on how strong you'd like for it to be. And now I'm adding 1 cup of vodka. Here's where you would add the essential oils of whatever fragrance you like. Then you just shake this up after you've screwed this on. And then you can begin to spray the fabrics, the draperies, the upholstery, the carpeting, whatever in your home. So you want to save some money on washing detergent? I can help you. You know, I spend a lot of time out in the garden, and you can imagine I rack up a lot of dirty clothes. So I'm always thinking, what are some ways to cut cost and actually take a more natural approach to taking care of some of those household chores like doing the laundry? Well, what I want to show you here are 2 different opportunities to create your own, well, laundry detergent. One is a powder form, and the other is a liquid form. I don't know, they're 2 different camps. Some people go for liquid, some go for powder. We're going to start with the powder form first. And there are really only 3 ingredients. But what you want to do is take a bar of just basic soap. You don't want oils in it or fragrances. Basic, basic, basic. So what I'm using is Dove soap, and I'm just taking this grater. And what I want to do is I want to grate this down to it's really finely grated like this, almost like snow. Now, if you have a better way to grate soap than what I'm using here, which is my kitchen grater, I'd love to hear about it. As I said, this recipe is really simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this over to the side. Basically, what you want to do is you want to start with 1 bar of soap. Here we go, 1 bar of soap. And then I'm going to take a full cup of super washing soda, pouring that in there. And then a half a cup of borax. Now I'm going to blend all that together and you have a super duper recipe for getting your clothes very, very clean. All right, now I used to use powder, now I use liquid. I'd be curious what you use and why. Now for the liquid form. It takes about the same number of ingredients, but you don't have to put so much elbow grease into grating the soap. So let me show you how to do that. You want to start with just an empty gallon jug because this recipe makes a gallon. And all you're going to do is take 3 ingredients plus water and add to it. So what I'm using here is some dishwashing liquid. And I'm using Dawn dishwashing liquid, and I'm using the blue liquid. All right, with that in there, what I'm going to do is take 3 tablespoons of the super washing soda. And then the other thing that we're going to use some borax. And we're going to use the same amount of borax, only 3 tablespoons. So here we go. I'm going to pour that in. Hopefully I won't lose too much of it. And there's the borax. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that all of that liquid is in there, and I want it to all dissolve. And the best way to do that is use some tepid to warm water. What we're going to do here is we're going to add 4 cups of water that's warm. So here we go. Once you have that together, just pop on the lid and make sure it's firmly secure. And then you want to shake this up. So you do get a little exercise here. You can see how foamy it is. Very good for your clothes. All right, then pop this off. Now all I have to do is fill this up. Now don't be alarmed by all these suds. When you use this in the washing machine, it won't suds up like this. And you can actually use this in some of those high efficiency clothes washers. So the idea is just to fill this all the way up. I left a little space at the top. I just want to turn this upside down just to make sure that everything is into solution. It looks very good. Now what you'll find is that this is very affordable. It's a fraction of the cost of what you would buy in the store. So you have to be wondering, how much of this stuff do you use? Well, you don't have to use a lot. For instance, with the liquid, you're only going to use about a half a cup to a full cup. And with the powder, well, only 2 tablespoons. Hey, if you find these homemade detergents helpful, I'd love to hear from you. You may have your own recipe. I'd love to know that too. Tell a friend about what we're doing. Who doesn't love the fragrance of fresh herbs? We use it in cooking, we use it in a lot of ways. But what about your laundry? Yeah, your laundry. If you use these dryer sheets, if you've ever looked at the chemicals that are in them, well, it's not such a good thing. So why not a natural alternative? What I want to share with you is creating some dryer sachets. And you just take a little cotton sachet, a little bag like this, and you just come up with a blend of herbs. You can use dried herbs or fresh herbs. I recommend dried herbs. Now, one thing to keep in mind when using dried versus fresh herbs is that it takes about 3 times the amount of fresh to equal the dried, all right, 3 to 1. Now let's talk about some of the qualities of these herbs that we have here today. Lavender, for instance. The flowers, well, the fragrance is amazing. Well known for calming and relaxing us. Also, it can provide respiratory relief, and some use it as an antidepressant. Now let's take a look at rosemary. This is what it looks like when it's dried. This herb is great for stimulating the sinuses. It opens them up. It's great for folks with allergies or even asthma. And then there's thyme. Thyme is well known for stimulating the mind and strengthening our memory and can calm nerves. And then there is mint. This is a natural stimulant for, well, clearing congestion. And it's also very soothing on the digestive system. Now, why don't we get started and make one of these? Nothing simpler. You just take whatever you like. I'm just going to pack this bag with lavender and thyme. Cinch it together and tie it. Now, doesn't this beat the chemical alternative? It just makes sense naturally. Healthy home, healthy you.